Angela Yee. I'm here. It is a Wealth Wednesday, and I'm excited for today because Daryl Fairweather is going to be joining us. She is the chief economist at Redfin, but she also has a book that's coming out called Hate the Game, Economic Cheat Codes for Life, Love, and Work. Absolutely. Make sure you guys follow her because she gives a lot of great and valuable information when it comes to the economy, and it is all not based on emotion, but based on real numbers. So follow her, get this book, Hate the Game. I actually read it already. There's a lot of pop culture references that also have to do with the economy. It just is really helpful in understanding why things are the way that they are, and also helping you negotiate when it comes to the workplace. But of course, you know what we do on a Wealth Wednesday. Let's start the show off with some love and some positivity. Also want to say Lip Service dropped yesterday. Krishan Rock came on Lip Service. A lot of things that she's trying to reevaluate about her life. So make sure you guys check out that episode. But let's start the show off with some love, with some positivity. Let's shine a light. 800-292-5150 is the number. Call us up. Let us know who you want to spread some love to. Again, that's 800-292-5150. Call us up. Let's shine a light. It's way up.
I'ma shine.
Turn your lights on, y'all.
Turn your lights on.
Spreading love to those who are doing greatness.
Shine a light on them. Shine a light on them.
It's time to shine a light on them.
All right, it's Way Up with Angela Yee, and it's time to shine a light. And since it is a Wealth Wednesday, let's shine a light on an entrepreneur, Simone Ware. She's a Caribbean woman who was born and raised in the Virgin Islands, but she's the founder and owner of Curved, which is a fitness brand. And everything she says she creates comes from her firm's content to campaign locations. Also has the beauty of the ocean and the beach infused in it. This fitness brand caters specifically to women. She said, as a little girl, I remember sitting on my dad's back while he did push-ups and watching him win Gold's Gym competitions. Staying active was second nature to her. She has an interview right now on Black Enterprise, so you guys should check that out. But she also is giving advice to Black entrepreneurs looking to start or grow a business. And the first thing she says is believe in yourself. That is the foundation. Find your niche, find the gap in the market, and then be the solution. So shout out to her. Now, who do you guys want to shine a light on? 800-292-5150. Kevin, who do you want to shine a light on?
My beautiful Black wife.
Ooh.
She's my Black queen, so I just wanted to give her a shout out. She's been doing amazing. She got a promotion at her job. She's just killing it right now in the game. So,
what's her name?
Jalen.
Well, congratulations. How long have you guys been married?
We're going on a year now of marriage. We've been together for about 4 now.
Okay, I see you.
Yeah.
You don't miss.
I mean, hey, listen, I was always told when you find a good one, you lock them up. So
that sounds crazy. Don't say it like that. You lock in.
No. Yeah, you lock in. So I definitely locked in, and this is for the long run. So
all right. Well, shout out to you guys. We love you, Jalen. Thank you for calling.
Thank you.
That was Shine a Light, 800-292-5150. If you couldn't get through, you could always leave a message and shine a light that way. And when we come back, we have your Yeti, and let's talk about Keke Palmer. Baby, this is Keke. You know, Cash Doll was on the latest episode, but the episode that just came out was supposed to be Jonathan Majors. We'll talk about it. It's Way Up.
They say it's truth in the rumors.
From industry shade to all the gossip,
Talk to me.
Angela's spilling that Yeti.
Talk to me.
All right, it's Way Up with Angela Yee, and it's time for your Yeti. Now, first off, let's talk about Keke Palmer. Baby, this is Keke. So the episode that was supposed to come out yesterday was the Jonathan Majors podcast interview she had posted about accountability. There was even a preview that was posted on TikTok of the interview, and here's what that preview sounded like.
Emotional vulnerability or unshakable mystery?
Vulnerability.
Fall in love slow or fall in love loud?
Fall in love slow.
Owning the past or rewriting the future?
Owning the past.
Why?
We're talking about history in general or mine? Me personally.
I mean, really, any of it. Just your concept around, maybe more so.
Around time?
Around time.
Well, time is.
Oh my gosh, I've been so into
everything.
time lately. Oh, yo! Gosh, man!
Yeah.
Literally, this time thing?
Look it.
I love that we literally.
Look it. Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the episode description said accountability. It's a loaded word. We're living in a time where we want real accountability, especially for things men have gotten away with for far too long. At the same time, finding forgiveness feels harder than ever, and we're still figuring out what true accountability even looks like. That was a description. Now, I'm hearing that you could have seen it if you had a subscription, but now it's not coming out to the general public. But what did come out was an interview with my girl, Cash Doll, and Cash Doll addressed what happened with her and her children's father, Tracy T, that caused them to break up. Here's what she said.
As far as clarity, she brought clarity. And that's why my situation that I was in, with their dad, I couldn't do it no more.
And just dealing, what you mean with dealing with? Just dealing with the inconsistency, the up and down, the negative energy?
The negativity, the not treating me how I want to be treated, the cheating, all that goodbye.
Yeah.
She not about to see that. She needs to see me getting love correctly.
All right. Now, in addition to that, she talked about finding balance. She also talked about the new man that she's dating and how that even happened. Here's what she had to say.
I'm gonna tell you what got my attention with him. I'm back outside. I'm with my girl Ja. So I'm in a club. So we sitting up there, and he walked through like security and everything, and just like introduced himself through security and everything. I said that was sexy. You know how some guys that just come sliding your DM after they seen you, or he came over with that energy.
And so he just probably kept that energy up.
Yeah.
He kept that pressure.
Yeah.
He letting everybody know Cash is mine.
Hey, I ain't got no complaints. I'm good.
She's even referenced Zadarius Smith while she has been on stage performing. So, they were together in Ghana, and I mean, if you didn't know, you definitely know now. So she has now publicly acknowledged this relationship, even though we've seen video of them together, even though she's referenced him on stage performing. So, that's what happens. And it feels like Tracy T has also moved on from this. He's addressed it himself on his live. A lot of people are blaming him. But now she's let us know the reason that they did break up. She didn't want their daughter Clarity to see that type of relationship with a man cheating. And I do think that when you have kids, you have to think about what the kids are seeing and how they're going to react to that and what you want to set as an example. All right. Well, that is your Yeti. When we come back, we have About Last Night. That's where we discuss what we did last night. I was working. What about you, Navy? You were working too?
Always. I love it here.
Oh, you were working here?
Yeah.
Okay. It doesn't stop. It's way up.
So, about last night. Here's how it went down.
All right, it's Way Up with Angela Yee, and it's time for About Last Night, where we discuss what we did last night. So I actually left here to go and film. One of my favorite things to talk about, and it is a Wealth Wednesday, so I might as well discuss this here, is about home ownership. And I was actually recording something where we were discussing that. One of the people who was part of that conversation is Caleb Simpson. He's the one that does the whole, how much do you pay for rent? He walks up to people on the street, and then he's like, can I see your place? And so it was just interesting to hear what he had to say, because he's been in so many people's homes, from mansions to small apartments to studios. He himself has had an experience of having, multiple roommates. And Navy.
Either one works.
Yes, Navy, who is our associate producer. How much do you pay for rent? That's a hard question for people to answer
On the spot.
But when you think about home ownership, that's a real conversation, right? And so one of the other people I was talking to, Brett Gray, he plays MJ on Broadway and MJ the musical, but he's also on The Chi right now. And he just bought his first home in Philly, where he's from. Mm-hmm. And so we just had a great conversation about home ownership. And we actually had another woman, Vivian, who was there to kind of guide us. She's an expert, in that field at Progressive. So it was a great conversation, though, because you know how much I love to discuss the importance of being able to own a home and what you need to do to get ready for it. Because a lot of people feel like they can't do it. And the reason I felt like I could buy a house was because my best friend, we were roommates, and she moved out because she bought a house. And so when she bought a house, I was like, oh, you know what? Let me start getting myself prepared for this. So just the things that you need to do, like get your credit together, make sure you know what you're pre-approved for, make sure you try to clear up whatever debts that you have so that your credit score can be even higher, all of those things. So it's fun to me to discuss, How you feel about it? You ready?
Sometimes you just got to see somebody do it just to get you the ball rolling.
And sometimes also having a guide to how to get it done is important too, because a lot of stuff I did on my own, I was like figuring it out as I went along. And so I learned a lot in that process, but I think it would have been a lot smoother if somebody was like, here's the steps that you need to take to make this happen.
If only you had a Wealth Wednesday.
If only I had a Wealth Wednesday. All right. Well, when we come back, it's time for Tell Us a Secret. 800-292-5150 is the number. Any secret that you have, we want to hear it because we are just straight up nosy. But it's a no judgment zone and you are anonymous, so we can't even call you out and go on social media and judge you because we don't even know who you are. 800-292-5150. Call us up. Any secret you have, we want to hear it. That's 800-292-5150. It's way up.
Yo.
Way up.
Shh. This is a judgment-free zone. Tell us a secret.
It's Way Up with Angela Yee, and you know what time it is. It's time for you guys to tell us a secret. This is where you get to remain anonymous, and anything you want to tell us, it is a no judgment zone. You won't see any facial reactions from Navy, who is on the boards right now, and I'm not going to say anything crazy to you either, okay? And you're anonymous. So 800-292-5150. Hello, anonymous caller. How are you doing?
I'm good.
You want to tell us a secret?
Yeah, so listen, I was messing with this Philly John, and I was over at her house, so I tried to press the issue with it. She gonna tell me I can't get none of it unless I take care of bills. So in the long run, I end up paying a Wi-Fi bill and calling it a day.
How much was the Wi-Fi bill?
She was back on it, so it was like $100.
Oh, that's not bad. Did you take her out to eat or anything?
No.
Okay, so it's like if you would have took her out to eat, except you put the Wi-Fi back on.
Yeah, they ain't tricking unless you got it.
I'm surprised she didn't ask for more things like, rent payment or get her hair done. Nothing else?
No. She told me I gotta take care of one thing. That was the agreement. I ain't paying all that.
And that's the only time you hit it?
I keep moving on. I don't double back.
Okay. Not a bad investment, right?
No, it was money well spent. I could say that.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for sharing with us and telling us your secret.
No problem.
She should have aimed higher, though, I'm going to say. Hey, anonymous caller, how are you?
What's going on?
What's up? You want to tell us a secret?
Well, I slept with my chick twin sister.
You slept with your girl's twin sister?
Yep.
Wow. How did that even happen?
Well, chick, she was out of town, and so I was at her place. I have keys to her place, right? So I was over there, and her sister actually was over there because her sister's power went out. Mm-hmm. She came over there earlier, and I didn't know that. We got to talking and all that kind of stuff, drinking. It went downhill from there.
Wow, so it just happened because y'all was drinking, smoking. Were y'all tight before that? Were you tight with the twin?
Man, we were cool like that, and she would make, little comments. But kind of playfully. I didn't think about it like that.
Because she wasn't playing?
No, she wasn't playing.
Is that the only time you did it?
Unfortunately, no.
Oh, so it's an ongoing thing. Are they identical twins?
So they are.
Sheesh. So this is like how many times would you say?
Probably about 7 or 8.
Oh my gosh. So you're in a relationship with both of them, basically. Is it awkward for you now when she's around?
It is.
All right. You think this woman, the original twin, is the one that you're going to end up with, like married?
We ain't got that far yet.
Okay. Yeah, you're not ready. All right. Well, thank you for calling and sharing. No judgment.
All right.
He definitely was disguising his voice, too. All right. Peace. Well, that was Tell Us a Secret. 800-292-5150. If you couldn't get through, leave a message and tell us a secret for last word. And when we come back, we have your Yeti. And Krishan was on Lip Service alongside Rick and the Menace. And we'll tell you some of the things that she had to say. Y'all are going crazy in the comments about not saying negative things about her baby, but we'll discuss. It's way up.
Yo, she about to blow the lid up off this pot. Let's get it. Oh, yeah. Angela's spilling that Yeti.
Come and get the tea.
It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm here, and let's get into some Yeti. So the newest episode of Lip Service came out yesterday, and that was featuring Krishan Rock. As you know, she is saved. She is basically working on a gospel album. She's been in the church. She was actually, she was actually on house arrest. She had to stay where she was, and she had to go to church there. She didn't have to go to church. She chose to. So now she's turned over a new leaf, and some people don't believe it, but we did have her on Lip Service to discuss all of those things. Now, as she was coming in for her interview, Tasha Smith was leaving because we have her episode on the way as well. And the two of them met up in the hallway, and here's what Tasha Smith said to Krishan.
I just love how God is using you right now. And I saw you doing praise and worship in church. I come from the church too. I went to ministry school, and I felt like I was you, like where you are in your life, like that was me. And I'm so happy for you. And I really pray for you, sis, that God continues to bless you and use you, and that you continue to trust him in your life.
All right. That was a beautiful moment. And basically, when Krishan came up, she was coming off of that inspiration and that vibe from having talked to Tasha Smith, who we absolutely love. Krishan also has a new song that she performed for the first time at church, Yahweh. So we talked about that as well. Now, here is Krishan actually blessing lip service with a prayer. And she got a little off track in the middle of her prayer, but here's what she said.
Not for what you can get out of it.
Right. Right before we started.
Okay, sure. Let's pray now.
Okay, cool. Hey, God, thank you for this opportunity just to sit down and be underneath, under a woman that's got wisdom, power, and understanding. Oh, God, we just want to ask you for insight on what's supposed to come and what's supposed to be ours and what's not ours. So, Lord God, I just ask you and continue to keep asking to guide our steps, Lord God. I want to bless this podcast, her name. You be in the blogs for stuff, and then you handle it with so much grace.
Yeah,
I noticed it.
Is this part of the prayer, Krishan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Jesus. Amen.
Amen. So yes, she definitely prayed for us, but definitely was talking about being in the blogs, and I think that's part of the issue is the blogs. That is definitely something that can influence how a person responds and how they react to things and make things a lot bigger than they have to be. Now, another thing that she talked about was going into labor and, not even knowing what was going on with her body at that time. Here's what she said.
Gloss was performing in Baltimore with Gorilla, and I was invited to come, turn up and vibe. So I was like, all right, I'm going to fly to Baltimore. That same day, I went in labor, though. Mm-hmm. So then when I went to the hospital, when I finally got to Baltimore, your 3 centimeters dilated.
Wow.
And then they're
it's time to have this baby.
I think you've been in labor for maybe
a day or so.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
How was that flight for you? If you felt like you could have possibly been in labor and then you flew for 6 hours from West Coast to East Coast.
So when I woke up, my seat was wet, but I just thought
your waterproof. Wow. Plane.
You think that's what
Yes.
Oof. All right. Well, that's a full interview is up right now. For everybody being like, why you didn't tell her baby this and this? I'm not telling nobody that something is wrong with their baby. We are going to talk about what's going on with you right now. She's been going to church. I saw a lot of people posting that. And when she's ready to speak about whatever she wants to talk about when it comes to her child, do that. But I am not going to be the one to do that. All right. All right. When we come back, we have Under the Radar. These are the stories that are not necessarily in the headlines. They're flying under the radar. Y'all ready for these tariffs? We'll give you some more updates because every day it's more and more money it's going to cost us. It's way up.
Listen to news that relates to you. These stories are flying under the radar.
All right, it's Way Up with Angela Yee, and it is time for Under the Radar. And I have to give you guys an update on a story that broke yesterday while we were doing the show. And this is the Jet Set nightclub in Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic, the capital. And the roof collapsed around 1 a.m. during a performance of merengue artist Rabi Perez and his orchestra. And unfortunately, at least 113 people were killed. That includes 2 former Major League Baseball players. Man, when I tell you that is ridiculous, there were at least 155 people in the hospital after the roof collapsed, according to officials. There's a lot of families of the missing who were gathering at the scene, sharing pictures. They do not know the cause of the collapse of the roof at this point, but that is absolutely devastating to see. There's a lot of video footage that's online. Now, former Major League Baseball player Octavio Dotel was among those killed. Yesterday, we reported that he was alive because he was rescued alive, but unfortunately, he did pass on the way to the hospital after being rescued. Another former major leaguer, Tony Blanco, also died after the collapse. So our condolences to the families. What a tragic incident to have happened, as they're still investigating how did this happen. All right. Now, next up in the news here in the United States, Donald Trump is going full steam ahead on these tariffs that he is promising to do. U.S. markets have had their worst week since the pandemic. Trillions lost in retirement and college savings accounts in just 48 hours after Donald Trump's tariff announcement. And China, according to reports, says they're ready to fight to the end on Donald Trump's tariffs. Republicans are also starting to feel the heat from this. Senator Tom Tillis, who's a North Carolina Republican, said, "Whose throat do I get to choke if this proves to be wrong?" Now, Donald Trump is telling everybody to chill out and relax. He thinks that this gamble is a good one. And we shall see. He's 104% tariffs on China. And China has then responded with 84% tariffs on us. So this is definitely going to be something that's affecting everybody, the average person, as the cost of everything is going up, as people's retirement plans are getting just pummeled. All right, well, that is your Under the Radar. Now, we do have the Way Up mix at the top of the hour, plus it's a Wealth Wednesday. Nobody better to talk to today than the chief economist at Redfin, Daryl Fairweather. She'll be joining us. Her book, Hate the Game, is coming out this week. Economic Cheat Codes for Life, Love, and Work. It's Way Up.
Just like to talk like they Angela Yee, like they Angela Yee.
Man, she's spilling it all. This is Yeti. Way Up.
All right, it's Way Up with Angela Yee, and it is time to get into your Yeeties. So let's talk about Bow Wow. Or should I say Shad Moss? He was recently on Cam Newton's podcast, and he was talking about women that he's dealt with, and one person who has left a long-lasting life impression on him. Shad Moss refers to Corinne Steffens. In this clip, here's what he said.
Like, when you talk about a woman, you got to take out all the things that come to your mind when you say her name. She's different. And this is what I mean by different. It's the fact that she know how to stay in your life for the rest of your life without being in your life. She taught me how to wash clothes, bro. Something so simple. I did not know how to wash clothes. To this day, every time I can be with whoever. I don't care who I'm with. I don't care where I go. If I see a laundry mat, Bounce, a Downy, the little bear, Corinne. I'm in Target. I see it. Corinne.
She was like a second mom to him. Navy, who taught you how to wash clothes?
My mom.
Exactly.
A lot of trial and error there, but my mom.
You're like, I still don't really quite know what I'm doing.
Yep.
All right, and Sada Baby, unfortunately for him, he was arrested, and people are talking, and his mugshot is going viral. I don't know why, but his mugshot is hilarious, the expression that he has in it. But this was also during his booking process. He's being held on a drug charge stemming from a traffic stop. Feels a little like, a little drug. I don't even think it was a lot. But anyway, they tested this substance. Results came back showing it to be narcotics, and that's what led to him getting arrested yesterday. All right. Now, Slim Thug recently discussed what happened when his penthouse got broken into. He was not at home at the time of this break-in, but here's what he had to say about the situation.
Petty thieves hit a good lick, man. They got me for my jury. I was slipping, but we working on it. But we ain't even tripping, though. I'm in the penthouse. How the did they get in the penthouse is what I want to know. I'm going to get this insurance money. I'm going to buy me a car. I ain't buying no jury if you don't do it. I'm wearing eye watches. You too petty. I ain't finna go crazy. I got footage and everything, but I ain't finna go crazy over no We got insurance, so we good.
Wow, that's wild. We were trying to figure out what could happen, and I think everybody would say this got to be like, how do you get to the penthouse unless it's somebody
inside job? Yeah,
unless it's somebody that works in the building or has connections to that. So it feels like something is he has video footage. All right, and LeBron now has his own Ken doll. Mattel, who are the makers of Barbie, are making this doll in collaboration with the LeBron James Family Foundation. And he's the first professional athlete to have a Ken doll released in his likeness. It also is a doll that is very fashionable. You saw the outfit and you saw the doll, Navy. What'd you think?
It's very accurate, honestly. It's an action figure.
All right. Well, he also released a statement, and they put up a video of him seeing the doll for the first time. He said the doll needs to do a little little lifting, and his legs look a little skinny and a little frail. But other than that, because of course, if you have a doll, you want your doll to be somewhat buff, right?
I guess so.
But no, good for him. And the doll really does look like him. Like, as I'm taking a look at it right here, and I see how this doll looks, right?
So imagine his daughter gets dad as a doll.
Mm-hmm.
That's gotta be incredible, honestly.
What did you play with as a kid? I definitely had
Power Rangers, Transformers, Zoids.
Zoids?
Zoids, yeah, they were robot animals. The machine guns are on them. It was awesome.
Okay. All right. And Michelle Obama recently has addressed these rumors. There's been rumors that, her and Barack are getting a divorce. And she did address this on Sophia Bush's Work in Progress podcast. She said that she decided to take a step back from the spotlight and skip some of those political events that her husband attended by himself. I can understand that. She said that's the thing we as women struggle with, disappointing people so much so that people couldn't even fathom that I was making a choice for myself, that they had to assume that my husband and I are divorcing. And she said she's just a grown woman making a set of decisions for herself. And she didn't feel like doing that. I know that was tough for both of them. Barack Obama had expressed how he had to kind of reset in his marriage because 2 terms, that's that was a lot.
And the first black family had to be a lot.
And she was getting attacked left and right. And now I got to sit in these rooms and smile in people's faces who I don't like. I don't want to do that. All right. Well, that is your Yeti. When we come back, we have Ask Yee, 800-292-5150. Any question? I'm here to help you out. And it is a Wealth Wednesday, so we're here to help you out with that, too. We have Daryl Fairweather joining us, chief economist at Redfin and author of Hate the Game. It's way up.
Here I go. Hey, everybody, accent. Whether it's relationship or career advice, Angela's dropping facts. So you should know. This is Ask Yee.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee, and it's time for Ask Yee, 800-292-5150. If you have a question, of course, I'm here to help you out. All right, we have Alicia on the line. What's up, Alicia?
Hey, Angela Yee, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. What's your question today?
So, I think you're one of the ultimate boss babes, right? So I don't know if you've dealt with this, but I would love to know your best advice for imposter syndrome and just showing up as that girl every day.
Oh, okay, so you having issues at work?
You ever heard the saying where it says, how do you have imposter syndrome when you're really doing it?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm doing it all the same. And on the outside, I guess it would seem that I am that boss girl. But on my end, I still have some reservations and I always get a little nervous. So just wondering how I can get rid of that.
Sounds like you're at work right now. Well, I'm going to tell you, and it's something that I feel like no matter what, I mean, I deal with it all the time. Like, you start feeling like, am I supposed to be where I'm supposed to be? Do I know as much as people think I know? The best way to overcome that is, I feel like, to be as prepared as possible. And for me, that means if I'm going to be speaking on something, let me make sure I'm as educated in it as I can be, take the courses, read the books, make sure I do all of the necessary research so that if anybody tries to ever question my credentials, or even if I'm questioning myself, at least I feel confident enough in knowing that I'm educated on what it is that I'm talking about and what I'm representing. And also sometimes getting out of your comfort zone and thinking about what is the worst thing that could happen in this situation. There's been times when I've gone to events and felt so out of place. Like I didn't know anybody, I'm here by myself. And there's times when you can't bring a +1. And those are learning experiences, and so I just think that making sure that we know as much as we can and that we also even put ourselves in a situation where we have to excel, and also owning up to certain things. Like sometimes there's things you don't know. It's okay to ask questions. You don't have to pretend to be the expert on everything. That's exactly how you learn. Sometimes things don't go as planned, and that's human and that's normal, and we have to give ourselves grace for those things. And so just, rest assured in knowing that you are not alone in this. It's something that I feel like I have to grapple with all the time, but it's something that if you don't sometimes feel like, man, am I supposed to be here? Am I, knowing everything I'm supposed to know? Then you're not challenging yourself. And I think one of the best things that we can do in life is challenge ourselves and get out of a space where we're comfortable,
Absolutely. I love that perspective.
Yes.
Thanks for keeping it real with me. I'm going to use that for sure.
All right. Thank you for calling.
All right. Thanks. Have a great day.
You too. All right. Well, that was Ask Yee. That really hit home, right? 800-292-5150. If you couldn't get through, leave a message. We'll play your question and I'll answer it that way. Or you can also tap that microphone and you can leave a message that way on the iHeart app. And when we come back, it is a Wealth Wednesday. And look, I'm definitely not the smartest person in the room. We got Daryl Fairweather joining us. And this is for her book, Hate the Game. But she's also the chief economist at Redfin. And she's been the first in a lot of spaces, the first black woman in a lot of spaces. You're going to love this conversation. It's also Wealth Wednesday's Real Estate Club. So Sam Ibrahim is here as well. It's Way Up.
Hey!
had a dream of living wealthy.
And I don't mind sharing my wealth, dog.
Getting you straight financially, mentally, and physically. This is Wealth Wednesday on Way Up with Angela Yee.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee on a Wealth Wednesday. Stacey Tisdale is here.
Happy Wealth Wednesdays, everybody. We are so excited because being that it is the second Wednesday of the month, it is Wealth Wednesdays Real Estate Club's
Sam Abraham is here. He's our partner in the Wealth Wednesdays Real Estate Club. And one of my favorites is here. Daryl Fairweather, welcome back.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
This is a real estate powerhouse show, and guess why she has this book sitting in front of her? She's the chief economist at Redfin. She analyzes the U.S. housing market, consumer behavior. She's got this fantastic new book out, Hate the Game, Economic Cheat Codes for Life, Love, and Work. She was a former senior economist at Amazon. She's a contributor to Forbes. She's a member of the Advisory Council of the Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas, a complete slacker. And you know our our co-host Sam Ibrahim, who's our partner for the Real Estate Club, has done over 1,400 transactions, taught over 10,000 students, $250 million portfolio, and has helped his students put together an $80 million portfolio. This is the badass Wealth Wednesdays Real Estate Show.
Let's go. That's right.
Yeah. Ooh, ran it down.
Bringing it.
I haven't done enough. But welcome and congratulations. Your book is officially out, and I know this is something you've been working on. And there's definitely a few stories I know about you already, but I learned a whole lot more about Daryl Fairweather and the way that you relate pop culture to the economy, to your own personal stories, so many different gems in this book.
I am interested in hearing your perspective on what do you think about the tariffs and all this, and how do you think that's going to impact the real estate market over the next couple of years?
Sure. So the way that tariffs will impact the housing market directly is that the inputs to housing are often imported, like lumber, for example, and there's a new tariff on lumber. So building new housing is going to be more expensive. And when it's more expensive to build something, that means the houses that are already built are now more desirable. Because if you're looking for a home, it's going to be more expensive to get a new build, and you're going to be looking at those existing homes more. The problem is that people are in those homes. They're existing homeowners with really cheap mortgages, lots of equity. They don't want to sell. And that's why I think home values are going to stay strong, because the people who own these homes are not in a vulnerable position. They have good credit scores. They have lots of wealth. So it's a pretty safe asset right now. It could go down in value a bit just because with everything going on in the economy, it's a possibility, but I think it's going to be a more stable value than what we're seeing in the stock market.
So does that make it a seller's market at a time like that?
So it's, we call it a seller's market when there's 5 months of inventory. So it would take 5 months to sell all the homes on the market at the current pace. And if it's more than that, it's a seller's market. If it's less than that, it's a buyer's market. If it's less than that, it's a seller's market. If it's more than that, it's a buyer's market. Right now, we're still in seller's market territory, but we're moving more into buyer's market territory because buyers have been looking at these high mortgage rates. They are having trouble affording it, and that's why homes are starting to sit on the market longer. Sellers are going to have to accept offers for less than asking price. So if you see the home that's listed out there, don't go just based on the price. Go look up what the sale to list ratio is in that neighborhood, so you know if homes are actually selling for their listed price. You can get a deal for less than what it's being listed for.
And Sam, you actually help people analyze these sorts of deals, those sorts of things with the club.
Absolutely. And more particular with investment property. But we definitely help that. So we teach you how to analyze a deal. And one of the big things in times like this where you said housing prices may come down a bit is you don't only want one exit strategy when looking at a property. If you need to sell it for top dollar to flip it and make a profit, then you have only one way to profit from that deal. We tell all of our mentees in the Wealth Wednesdays Real Estate Club to analyze it as a rental long term as well as a flip. So if you want to flip it, that's great. But if you have to pivot because you never know what happens in the future and you need to hold it long term for a year, 2 years, 3 years and wait for the market to rebound or change, you can still profit that way as well and you're not bleeding monthly on a monthly basis. So I only recommend our mentees to do a deal that fits both criteria. We give them calculators, we guide them, and we answer all their questions to make sure they attack every deal in a way that works like that.
Right now I'm with Sam Ibrahim from Wealth Wednesdays Real Estate Club and my partner in Wealth Wednesdays, Stacey Tisdale. We're talking to Daryl Fairweather. Her book, Hate the Game, is out today. We have more when we come back. It's Way Up.
A dream of living wealthy.
And I don't mind sharing my wealth, dog.
Getting you straight financially, mentally, and physically. This is Wealth Wednesday on Way Up with Angela Yee.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. And happy Wealth Wednesday. We have Siam Ibrahim from our Wealth Wednesdays Real Estate Club alongside Stacey Tisdale, my partner in Wealth Wednesday. And we're joined by my friend, chief economist and author, Daryl Fairweather. Stacey, you have a question?
Now, how would you apply all of this, the negotiation stuff, to real estate?
Okay, so when you're negotiating, the first thing you want to do is figure out what the other person wants. Sometimes it's easy to tell. Sometimes people can be misleading you about what they really want out of the situation. You can figure out what the other person wants by figuring out, like, what would they do if you walked away from the negotiation? What's their outside option? And if they don't have many options besides the negotiation, then you could be more aggressive. If they have lots of people that could replace you, you need to know that if you push too hard, they might just say flat out no and go with somebody else.
And your pop culture reference for this is Destiny's Child.
Yes.
Can you break it down, Destiny's Child wise? What happened there?
Okay, so I know that if you listen to this radio station, you probably know the story, but I will repeat it. Back in the 2000s, there were 4 members of Destiny's Child: Beyonce, Kelly, Latavia, and LaToya. Latavia and LaToya felt like they were contributing just as much as Beyonce, but Beyonce was getting all of the attention, all of the interviews, all of the covers. And this was, right after Bills came out. They were just on the come up, but they weren't really established yet. So they issued an ultimatum saying, you got to treat us equally. We want to get rid of Beyonce's dad as the manager because we think the dad is giving favorable treatment to Beyonce. And they thought if they struck at that moment when they were just on the come up, that they would succeed in this ultimatum. But I think what they misunderstood is what Matthew Knowles, Beyonce's dad, really wanted out of the group. That he had put all this money and effort into his own daughter's career, and that she was going to be the breakout star, the Diana Ross of the Supremes, the Michael Jackson of the Jackson 5. And that's usually what happens too. There's usually one breakout, and even if they're a little bit more popular, they grow and grow in popularity faster than the other members. So they thought like equal effort, equal treatment, but really in these groups, there's a breakout star, and they didn't realize that the group could survive without them, and that's why their ultimatum failed. I had a similar situation where I asked my boss at one of my first jobs for a raise, thinking that I was necessary because it was like this moment with a client where if I left, it would be really bad. But he told me no, and
you must not know about me.
Yeah, exactly. I was replaceable. I had to learn that I was replaceable. And sometimes when you're an entry-level worker, you are replaceable, and you just gotta
and
know
that is a hard truth, right? Because sometimes we never want to feel that way, but the truth to the matter is that is what does happen. That's the life. And you said to yourself, I have to get out of here.
Yeah, I gotta get a new job, and I have to get skills that make me less replaceable, because the more skills you have, the more special you are, the harder it is for people to walk away from you.
All right, well, make sure you guys again hate the game. A lot of great references in here, things I didn't even know about. You talk about Big Brother in this book, just things it really relates a lot of things that you're like, oh, this is why this happened, and then there's actually a story behind this, and then this is how. So I love it.
Great.
I just love the work that you do. Thank you so much.
Out this Friday.
Get it on.
It's out Friday, April 11th. Available for pre-order. It'll be everywhere in bookstores on Friday.
Yeah.
And Amazon, right?
Yeah, Amazon. All the booksellers have
I
it.
really ordered mine and it came already.
Yes.
So I appreciate that.
She gave me mine.
Yeah, these are special early editions.
Well, it's an economist. Economist, you have to buy it.
And this is a very Instagrammable book. You can pose with it, post it. It's a very beautiful cover.
You must
so
be.
it's a
I'm
work
so
of art.
happy. You've been working on this for quite a while.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Love you guys. And of all the things in the book, be sure to read Miss Angela Yee. Happy Wealth Wednesdays, everybody.
All right, well, that was Wealth Wednesday with Daryl Fairweather. Her book, Hate the Game, is out this week. Make sure you guys order. It's amazing. I read the whole book, learned a lot. It was very fulfilling. And it also had a lot of great references for things that I think are very relatable to the everyday person. The economy is a mess right now, but you do need to understand it. All right, when we come back, this is your show, so you have the last word.
Pick up the phone.
Tap in. Tap in and get your voice heard.
What the word is.
Here's the last word on Way Up with Angela Yee.
Woo, yes, it is Way Up with Angela Yee, and what day is today? Wednesday? Yes, It's a Wealth Wednesday. So thank you again to Daryl Fairweather for joining us. Her book, Hate the Game. Make sure you guys get that book. It's all about the economy, economic cheat codes for life, love, and work. We need those. And yes, I'm hoping that here in New York, it is freezing outside. I had a winter coat on today. I'm like, what is going on? I can't take it anymore. I feel like the weather's been ridiculous everywhere.
Yeah, it's fighting us back.
It's like up and down everywhere I'm going. But anyway, aside from all of that, and aside from tariffs, and aside from climate change, you guys have a great rest of your day. We'll be back tomorrow. And of course, this is your show, so you have the last word.
I just wanted to shine the light on my boys. I have 3 boys, LaDre, Blake, and LaJaden. They've been working hard this year to get their grades up, and they finally, made the AV honor roll, and I'm so proud of their hard work. I love you, boys.
And my secret is I have a huge crush on my coworker, but like we just my homie, we just cool. I'm bi or whatever, but I damn near love that, and I'm delusional.
Going way up, turn up with Angela Yee.